all this. So we need to bring it up again, and we think about all the good actions that are being done in this world that is plunged in darkness and in chaos. Because especially when the world is plunged in darkness and in chaos, we can do a lot of positive actions. Because many people need help. Yeah. You see the connection that we create with people. You see, if there wouldn't be any sorrow or pain or suffering, the connections that we would have with people would be very superficial if everybody would be joyful and happy. The deepest connections that you have with people is either they helped you or you helped them. And without suffering or without pain, this connection would not develop. So don't think that, sorrow and pain and suffering should not be present in our life. It is necessary so we can open up our heart and we can find compassion. If nobody suffers, we will never discover compassion. And compassion is such a beautiful state of mind. The wish to help, the open heart. It hurts. It's not a comfortable state of mind. But it's very beautiful and it's very human. And I think the task of us humans is to discover that mind of compassion. Then we can call ourselves human. When we're not harming, because the mind of compassion doesn't want to harm at all. Even if it has to be forceful, but it becomes forceful in order to protect the other person. Yeah, so like this. And if nobody suffers, we don't discover it. So don't think pain and suffering is useless. Yeah, we can create strong connection, And I can feel it in myself. If somebody comes to me and tells me their problems in their practice, I'm much more present with them than if somebody tells me about all their accomplishments. Or, whatever good things they did or success or whatever. It's nice. Yeah, it's nice. I'm happy for them when they have success and when it works well and all this. But my mind state is more intensive, is more present, is more, I don't know how to say, feelable when somebody is coming to tell me about their problems. So rejoicing in the merit of all holy and ordinary beings, there's also a lot of good things in this world. So we also look at those, then the mind comes up again. And we rejoice. How wonderful. In America, in this school, that is where they have this method, CCC, Creating Compassionate Cultures, they train kindness detectives. So the kids, when they're out in the break, they train to see good things, like, Mary fell down and then John kind of helped her up, or, I don't know, Jack gave half of his sandwich to Mike, whatever, and then they say it in the class. They mention it, and every time somebody sees something, they have colored beads like that. There's a big jar, so the colored bead goes into the jar. When the jar is full, there's a party. So the kids are being trained to see the kind acts and not just to see the problems. And they call it training kindness detectives. So we can all become kindness detectives. At the moment we're problem detectives, isn't it? The moment we see something, we latch onto it, and then we get stuck there. Yeah. Then our jar of beads gets very heavy. Good to empty the jar of problems out and start to fill in kindness beads. So this is rejoicing in the merit of all holy and ordinary being. They say this is the practice which is the easiest because you can do it lying down. For all the other practices, they say you have meditation, and you have to sit up with a straight back so that the energies start to flow freely. I mean, this is also why it is quite important to work on a good posture if you can. Yeah, because then the energies in the body, the veins, in the meridians, start to flow freely, and then the mind works better. Yeah, so it can also be just a training. And then again, of course, don't push too hard. If you need to lean against the wall, or if you need to lie down, you lie down, that's fine. But Try to see the connection between the body and the mind, and try to see when is the mind the most alert, but alert, not tense, but relaxed and alert. When you kind of, like this, or when you like this, or whatever. And then whatever you discover, then do that. It's worthwhile to work on the posture, especially when you're young. And then if you have problems in putting your knees on the ground, like Yanai or Niv, they're sitting, or also Shoshana, a few others. When you're able to put your knees on the ground, that's perfect. But when you're not able to put them on the ground, it's good to support them with something like that. Cushion, sweater, shawl. This is easy because it's not heavy and you can carry it along with you. So it can be bought in the yoga store in Tel Aviv, 50 rupees, 50 shekels. 50 shekels. They're not as good as mine. Mine are from Switzerland. Those in the yoga store, they're not as soft as mine, but they do the trick. It's fine. So I already, I told them, I said, you're going to make good business. I tell you, it's already 8 are being bought, 8 other ones I will go and buy for somebody else. So, and also, Noah, you said it's Pilates equipment. So maybe if you want to order it online, because you don't have a shop next to you, you can tell me, I go and buy them for you. I like to go shopping, but I don't need anything, so I can never go shopping, so I kind of, and this is fine, there's only one kind, so I don't need to choose, so that's okay. This one I'll go and buy for you, that's okay. So if you want me to buy them in Tel Aviv, I don't mind. But you can order on the internet also. And it's really good. It's really, so for you to be able to sit without too much pain in meditation. And after the knee operation, I was sitting on the chair. It's okay to sit on the chair, but there is a difference in the ability to concentrate when you sit on the ground. But if you are full of pain, then there's no point. Then better sit in a chair. Or, for a short time, work on sitting on the ground and then go and sit on the chair. That's fine. Okay, so these are kind of practices that we do for ourselves. So this is the purification and the creating of merit. Also, when we rejoice in the happiness of somebody else, that creates so much positive energy of having joy in your life. Because you see, the problem is, rejoicing is counteracting jealousy. The problem is, when you are jealous of somebody's good quality, your subconsciousness gets the message, it's not good to have this. So when you then could have it, you won't have it, because it's not good. Do you see what I mean? If you're jealous of somebody's qualities, you will never get them. Because your subconsciousness or your ego is telling you it's not good to have these things. Whereas when you rejoice in others' good qualities, you open the door for you to have these good qualities. That's why rejoicing is so important. And joy is such a nice state of mind. Everything goes easy when you're joyful. The problems become very small, whatever we can do, we do. If we can't do it, we let it be without, schlepping it around with us. It's really wonderful, the rejoicing thing. Then we ask the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas, or your belief system, I'm not saying this just for Buddhists. You can apply this in any belief system. Please remain until the end of cyclic existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for living beings. It is said that Buddhas do not come back and teach us as Buddhas if we're not asking. Makes sense, Trying to help somebody who doesn't want to be helped, it's no point. Trying to teach somebody who doesn't want to listen. When I do these workshops with the children, and sometimes they're like 10, 12 years old. They're more open to teenagers. They're the worst because they have to come. They're not coming voluntarily. It's part of their school curriculum. So just to get their attention is like really, really difficult. And I want to give them something that they understand what I'm talking about. And when I explain Buddhism, it's not religion, it's psychology, that they can do work with their mind. But I have 45 minutes. So at the end, I have them all at the end. But then 45 minutes are over. And they actually keep sitting, I ring the gong or something like this, say, okay, that's it. They keep sitting, they're waiting for more, but it's finished. But it takes me at least 20 minutes to get their attention. And the way I get it is by being very honest and say, look, I am used to talk to people who look at me and who listen to what I'm saying. Now, I don't know what to do with you. And then it starts to that they start to listen. Yeah? That's why we have to ask the Buddhas to come back and teach, because otherwise they don't come. And it's a way of opening ourselves towards the teachings. Yeah? So that we become an open vessel. So it's easy for the Buddhas to teach, and it's also easier for us to receive the teachings. Yeah. So this is what I tell the kids. I said, look, if you want a good teacher and you're not listening, then how can that be a good teacher? It's like you boycott your own learning by not listening. They don't like to hear that too much, but okay. And then the last bit is I dedicate my own merits and those of all others to the great enlightenment. Okay, that is the last bit. That means we reaffirm to ourselves again why we are doing all this. And then you start your meditation. Now, of course, it took me an hour and 15 minutes to explain that. But then when you read it, it takes at the most 5 minutes. Even you spend a little bit of time on each of these lines. But you can also do it for an hour and then meditate for 5 minutes, because then your mind is really well prepared. So your meditation of 5 minutes might become more powerful than your distracted meditation of 1 hour. So no, try it out. Try it out if preparing your meditation with something like this might make the meditation a little bit easier. Try it out. Of course, if you have aversion towards it, then it won't work. But see it as a tool. See it as a tool. Taking refuge, the 4 immeasurables, and then the 7 limb practice. Okay? So this, and it does. The 7 limb practice, they say, it purifies a lot of negative karma, creates a lot of merit, because you're working with the merit field with the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas. So I thought I mentioned it this morning as I was going through the 7 limbs in my room. I thought, yeah, I mean, it's such an easy practice and it's so powerful. Maybe I should tell them, even though they maybe don't want it. But, so these things, can they take it home, or can they buy it, or can they what? Can they download it? Can we send it to them? Can we send a file to them?
We can give it for donation and then use the money to order some more.
Okay. We can give it for donation and okay, the donation could also be that for 1 month you do this every morning. That could also be your donation, and then if money-wise, I will donate to the group. That will be okay. But the best donation would be a promise, I do this for at least 1 month every morning. That's good enough for donation. But of course, if you want to contribute, because it needs money to do these things, if you want to contribute financially, that is also okay. But if you think that, oh no, I don't want to buy this, I don't want to give any money, but I would like to have it, then by all means, take it. But you need to use it, okay? Don't just then throw it in a corner at home. I will not come and check, I will not have a possibility to check. But what can I do?
Usually you read it before the meditation?
Huh?
You read it before the
Yeah.
daily meditation?
I do it in my daily practice, yeah. Mm-hmm. Much more than this. I have like at least an hour and a half or 2 hours until I'm done with what I'm doing in my daily practice. But this is very short. This is like the basic. It's very easy to do, and so you do this before you meditate. Same way as you would, you see, you can also just for yourself, why am I sitting here? Why am I doing this? What's the benefit? What's the disadvantage of not doing it? But you can also do it freestyle. Yeah? Do you see what I mean? What? Is there... No?
Just
Okay.
say that it's in our
Okay.
Marriage
Oh, okay. Okay. So try it out. Because then you're sitting and meditating silently has a reason. Yeah, and then the energy, even you think your meditation is totally for the pits and you're not, it was a really bad meditation. No meditation is bad. The main point is that you sit down and you try and you train. That is the main point. There's no such thing as a bad meditation. The only bad meditation is no meditation. That one is bad. The only kind of failure is when you totally give it up. Then you fail, as long as you continue. But it might make your meditation a bit easier by seeing a real purpose of doing this. Yeah? If there is meaning of doing something, even if it's difficult to do, then it's easier to do than when there's like no meaning. Yeah? So this is why I also give a meaning to your life. As the Dalai Lama says, we're on this planet for maybe 80, 90, here in Israel 100 years. You know that you're the only country who has so many people over 100 years. I don't see any other country where people live so long. Yeah. If you are 100 years old in Switzerland, you are in the newspaper, your birthday, the mayor comes, congratulates you. You're a miracle almost. Yeah? Yeah. Like when somebody says over 100, you go, what? Here, like so many. You're tough. You're courageous to live so long. Other people there, they don't have the courage to bear the suffering of having 100 years. So
that's our punishment.
Huh?
That's our punishment, to live long.
Yeah, exactly. To live long. Yeah. It can be also, this view that death is a failure. It is a failure. It's the ultimate failure. We have to leave everything behind. But everybody has to go through it. So it's good to kind of accept it. Okay, so I will start with the results of the 10 non-virtues. And then we have a break, and then we continue with it until lunch. Maybe the meditation on it we do then after lunch. So there are 3 different results of a complete karma. That is an action that has been committed with all 4 components, factors present. So here they say 3 results because they take the result of the experience and the result of the action, they take it into one. Yeah. So there's the ripened result. We'll go through that again so that you know. The future rebirth state you will experience as a result of having created a complete karma. Complete meaning with the 4 factors present. What is it? The intention, the object, the action, and the completion of the action. So the ripening result is determining what kind of form you will have. Then the results that are similar to the cause. So they put A and B here. If you want, I can send you that also. Then, I'll send it to you, and then you have it. It's quite good to see. So the results similar to the cause, they have A and B. So there is the experience similar to the cause. Once your karma to be born in the lower realms has been exhausted and you come up again, you take rebirth in an upper realm, you will have experience similar to your original actions. What they are, we look later. Then B would be actions similar to the cause. Once your karma to be reborn in the lower realms has been exhausted and you take rebirth in an upper realm, you will have the instinctive tendency to commit the original action again and again and again. The habit. Okay? Then the third one is the environmental result. When born in the human realm, you will experience results of your actions in the form of environmental conditions. Okay. So, for killing, the ripened result is to be reborn in the lower states. So as I'm saying, you will get this by the emails, or you can relax and just listen to me. And I think I have it on the computer, but otherwise we can scan it. So from killing, you will, an action of killing, if it's a full action, if that seed ripens, it will always create an existence in the lower state. If it's a very heavy action, it's the health. If it is a middle heavy action, it's the hungry ghost. If it is a light action of killing, it is an animal. Yeah. Again, why animal is lower state? Because one thing is they are very powerless towards humans. You know, like we totally exploit them. They're either exploited or being treated in a bad way or this and that. I mean, if you look at the number of animals, including birds and insects and fish and all that, who suffer because of either being afraid of being eaten by other animals or being exploited by humans, and then the little few animals that have a really good life. Like the dog of the Dalai Lama, he doesn't have any dogs, but like, you know, dogs and this. And even dogs and cats, even if you look after them in a really good way, they're still totally dependent on you. You know, I have a cat who comes to visit me in Switzerland because I feed him from time to time when the owner goes on holiday. So his bag where his food is in, he can jump onto the shelf where it's in and he can throw it down, and then I hear it, he's hungry, but he cannot open it. So he starts to bite it, but he can't open it. If he's thirsty, he lies in the sink and he looks at the tap, but he cannot open the tap. So he's still dependent that somebody opens the tap for him. This is why. And then I can show him how to do prostrations. He comes maybe and sits in my lap when I meditate, but he's not getting it. He's not really getting it about self-cherishing and all that. As an animal, you don't have the capacities to train your mind. You know, I mean, people can train you to do tricks and all this, but they might have some small capacities like dolphins and monkeys and chimpanzees and all this, but compared to a human mind, it's nothing. It's really nothing. It takes a long time to train an animal to do tricks. Yeah. So that's why animal is also considered a lower rebirth. So the results similar to the cause. The experiences are later in human rebirth. You will have a short life, ill health, many troubles, and no success in your activities. The actions, you will have the habitual desire to kill and harm others. You will have the tendency. And sometimes we see it in people or in children. They have a lot of pleasure in being nasty to others. We can see it. So it's a tendency that remains from the action of killing. Okay? It doesn't mean we say, okay, then it's okay. But maybe we judge them a little bit less by seeing it's a habit, it's a tendency, they have no choice. It's not a choice that they are making. It is a habit who is pushing them. So then don't counteract their habit with your habit of being aggressive. That's not going to work. Try to be kind to them instead of judging them. That's very difficult. But I think the moment we understand, with us and with others, that we don't have control, we act out of habits. We don't do it on purpose. It's habits. We judge ourselves and others much less. You have no choice. At the moment, it's like the habits are very, very, very strong. And then through awareness, through this little gap that is between the seeing the object and the reaction, the more you are aware and you don't do the action, you're not creating more habits for the future. Whatever we've done in the past, if we don't purify it, it manifests again and again as habit where we have no choice. We can only choose the future, and from the past, the only thing we can do, we can't undo it, but we can try to purify, to lessen these habits. So don't judge yourself when you do something negative. If you have the tendency of feeling really bad about yourself, stop that. It's no point. Try to tell yourself, I didn't do this on purpose. I wish I wouldn't have done it. Then you can counteract these habits. If you start punishing yourself and hating yourself, you reinforce those negative habits because you're not happy. You see, the happier you are, the less these habits have a chance to manifest, the negative ones. The unhappier you are, the more they will manifest. So you have a duty to be happy. So be kind to yourself. And also, if you feel that you have a lot of anger, the best antidote is be kind to yourself. Eat that chocolate that now you want or you need, or the ice cream or whatever. And then when you're more relaxed, then start to think about your negative action. Only then. Okay? It's no point trying to counteract anger with aggression and tension and wanting and, it's no point. But we don't dare, isn't it? We don't dare because we want to punish ourselves. We don't dare to be kind to ourselves when we have been angry. You need courage. Bring up the courage to be kind to yourself. Don't worry about others because, when we look at others, we think, oh, but then they will become even worse. Why should you be kind to them? Work not with the minds of others, but work with your own mind and see what happens when you're really angry and when you create, like suppressing it and pulling yourself together, or you just say, relax. This is what I tell the kids. This they really love. I say, look, when you don't feel well, and when you're all agitated, and in German we say, nimm dich zusammen, means get yourself together and beherrsch dich, like, like this, say, please don't, but learn to relax. When you're angry, learn to relax. When you have a lot of desire, learn to relax, Learn to make space. Because all of this is creating tension here. We become very narrow. And then these negative habits, they all explode. Be kind to yourself. Yeah. And then when you're happy, then you don't need the ice cream and the chocolate anymore. Here is raising her eyebrows. What do you think? You think you will forever need chocolate and ice cream to be happy? No. But there's moments where it's good. And you see, when you eat the ice cream, not as a reward, but as a medicine. I'm eating this ice, or whatever it is. I'm eating this ice cream now because then I can relax and I can be kind again. Then it has a meaning, eating the ice cream. If you just eat it because you want to suppress something, then it has no meaning. But if you go, I'm eating this, or I'm doing this, running, eating, swimming,
Maybe I can enjoy it more.
Of course.
If it's not there, something else.
Yeah, so,
If it's there, you can enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You should enjoy the things that you're eating, otherwise what a waste of money and time and calories. I mean, not a waste, but a getting of calories for nothing. I mean, again, if you're addicted to food, then you have to find something else that is being kind to you, because otherwise you just buy into your addiction. So it needs to be something different. Being kind to yourself by going for a walk or whatever. Find something that you find pleasure in, that is not your addiction. Okay? Good. The environmental result of killing is taking rebirth in a place where there's much violence, war, many problems, and so on, and where food, drink, and medicine have little power. Stealing. So the ripening result is rebirth in one of the lower states. Results similar to the cause, like this again, A and B. The A is experiences similar to the cause, lack of wealth, possessions and resources. Your things will be stolen or lost. So Gajin Rinpoche said at one point, if somebody steals something from you, then you think, okay, the debt the bill is paid from somewhere, maybe not with this person, another person that is from the past. And even if you lend money to somebody and that somebody doesn't give back the money, then also you think, okay, this is a past bill that I haven't paid yet. Now it is paid. That is a way of not getting too upset when